This is one of the worst things to realize about your parents as an adult. It's a dangerous game that many parents play. Let's go. Let me just put it like this. When I was about 10 years old, my mom was driving me, my two sisters, and my stepdad on the freeway one Saturday afternoon. While my mom was driving, her and my stepdad had an argument about the route we should take. So my mother decided to stick with the route of her choice. My stepfather didn't like the word no. So he grabbed the steering wheel and tried to throw us into the median of the freeway. My mom fought and fought to regain control, but boom, we hit the center divider, flipped over it, and our car rolled several times. My head bashed into the door. I was knocked unconscious since I was the one sitting behind my mom on the side that hit the center divider. When I woke up, my mother had blood on her face, her hands were all cut up, and I was absolutely traumatized. Shockingly, no one was severely injured. Stick with me because I'm about to tell you the horrible revelation that I had as an adult from this. So, the police, fire department, and the ambulance were sitting there waiting for us when I regained consciousness, and a minister pulled up and drove us to the hospital. So after we left the hospital that night, my mother told us, never forget this. She said, the police, the ambulance, and the fire department were waiting for us before the accident was over, and a minister even took us to the hospital. She said, never forget what God just did and how he saved our lives today. It took me well into my adulthood to realize that we wouldn't have needed God to save our lives had my stepfather not tried to unalive us that day. So my mother used religion and God saving our lives as the focal point of the discussion rather than leaving this man and even having him arrested. Her desire to have a man and her fear of being alone was more important than the crime that he just committed against her family and even herself. So when a kid grows up and realizes they were in a toxic situation because one of the parents was being selfish, this is why a lot of adults have resentment towards their parents. And this is why it's so important for any adult who has children who's in a toxic relationship to get therapy. Period.